Hello. Uh, in this video, you will learn about Python applications for especially meteorology, atmospheric science, weather science, climate data analysis. So here I will show you stepwise detailed methods of different methods. In this particular video, I'm not going to use the basics, but yes, I will explain each and every detail of Python shortly. So this is a Linux system. Currently I'm using Ubuntu system. Ubuntu is quite user friendly, and let's open a terminal here. So from the terminal I am opening a Jupyter-notebook. Now how to install Jupyter-notebook? You can get different videos, many videos for that in YouTube also, but in simple way in Linux, if your all environment is set properly, then you just need to type sudo apt get install Jupyter-notebook. After that it will automatically install everything. After installing, it is always recommended that you should close your terminal and reopen your terminal so that the installed package is being activated. Okay, so this is the Jupyter-notebook that I'm going to use for my purpose. So to open the Jupyter-notebook, first of all you need a net connections. However, if you dedicatedly want to work with Python, there are several other options also, like you can install Python 3.9 depending on the version. In the Ubuntu, that is the advantage that Jupyter-notebook is basically quite interactive. You can modify as well as you can run the code, and running and execution of the code, editing, everything you can do very easily in the Jupyter-notebook. That's why actually if you work with the large scale data, long code, in that case the Jupyter-notebook is very useful. Other than Jupyter-notebook, you can have different editor where you can practice your Python, like you can have PyCharm, you can have Python terminal. Okay, there are different Spider, so there are different editor you can have to practice Python. But if you want to actually work with the Python interactively, I will always prefer the Jupyter-notebook. Okay, this is my first home page of Jupyter-notebook. So to open a Jupyter-notebook, you have to install it in the Ubuntu system. Now if anyone has Windows, here I don't have any Windows, but in Windows system you can also access the Jupyter-notebook via Anaconda system. I'm showing you this one. In the Google, if you type Anaconda, this is a basically a portal. Yeah, this one, Anaconda. If you click on it, you can see you can download actually. Let me check. Okay, so I think you need to just sign in. I have already my Anaconda in my Windows system in separate laptop. So if you want to work with Python or Jupyter-notebook in Windows, you need to install this Anaconda. It's basically a launching platform where Anaconda include different kind of software, among which actually Jupyter-notebook is basically a tool. Okay, so this is the Anaconda that you can use for Windows platform. Now this is my home of Jupyter-notebook. Actually there are lots of folder. That folder you can actually visualize in my home page. Okay, so since I have opened it directly in my home page, so that's why it is showing all the folders that I kept in my home page. Okay, so now before we start working, let's give a brief idea about Jupyter-notebook and basics of Python little bit, and then we will discuss about the module that we are going to use one by one. Okay, so this is the IPNB, or you can say the Python editor, where you will write your code, edit your code, execute your code. So how to open? If you see, I went there in the new caption, and then if you click, you can see several options. You can create new folder. Let's say I'm creating a new folder. Now here you can see there is an untitled folder. You can rename it as some name, and then you can open it. So now there is no file. So in this particular file you can open a Python script. Okay, now console terminal is not required now, don't require. I will show you later that how it will work, but for writing the code you need to open a IPNB page. So this is your Python editor tool, and there we are going to write the codes. So this is this particular code can, this particular IPNB can be named as, let's say, the first. Okay, so I'm renaming, and then you can see different options. File, okay, there are different. Edit, view, run is basically mostly used to run the code. Kernel is basically the whole script. It's basically cell by cell. Setting, then we have help option, and you can see this is the save option. If you want to add cell, that you can use. If you want to delete, that you can use. If you want to copy, okay, copy, and then I think this one is paste. Okay, so copy paste is there. This is for the execution. Run, stop, like interrupt the kernel. Let's say if you execute your code and your code is not running for the long time, you can stop that whole system by stopping the kernel. Then this one is to restart, like how to restart the kernel, because if you want to refresh kernel, in that case you have to restart. So the purpose of restarting is to activate or all the module that you have installed. Let's say if you start working with something and suddenly you have seen that some module has not been installed, so you have to install immediately. After installing any new thing, your kernel needs to be updated. So in that case you need to restart the kernel. Then that is the kernel, like you can do it simultaneously after restarting and as well as running the cell. And then you have the code, like select the cell type, code, markdown, raw, whatever you want. Okay, gradually I will show you each and every use of this. So this is the cell, and here actually initially you can use your Python as a calculator, right? You can quickly do some kind of, let's say I'm giving a hashtag here. So you can see giving the 3 hashtag, it's give you something. It's basically marking as heading. You can give some heading if you want to add some heading. You can, sorry, one cell hidden. I'm deleting this one. So with this option you can delete. Now let's say I'm typing so initially you can use it, the hashtag. I think all of you know that hashtag is mostly used to give the statement, statement in the Python. So basically hashtag is mostly used to give the statement. Now there are different kind of calculations you can perform simply. Now the advantage of this particular IPNB is you can directly use this IPNB as a Linux platform, like PWD, mostly present working directory. It is basically named as present working directory. And if you type, I will show you in one terminal that how does it look like. If you type PWD here also, and if you just enter, then you will get the path. Here similarly, actually, if you put the sorry, PWD is not defined. Okay, sorry. Maybe hashtag is not working here currently. Anyway, if you give the PWD, you can have the path. Actually, the function of that particular code is same. It will give you the path. If you type ls, you can see the list of files as same as the terminal. You can get the list of files. Okay, so you can change the directory, like here currently in the practice. If you want to come out, so this is the thing. If you want to again go to that, you can put a tab and you can enter. So this particular the advantage of the right PNB is you can easily work in the same way as you work in the terminal. So this is the first part of introduction of Jupyter Notebook for very beginner.